Non-finite verbs. Okay. Yes, exam is postponed. Anyways, our concern is that you study as much as possible, okay, because class 7, class 8 are the very important classes, because you get to build your base of English and all other subjects in these 2 years. So you just concentrate on studying as much as possible. These technicalities of taking online examinations, there will be some problems, but try to cope up with them, and in the meanwhile study as much as possible, okay. So one of you please tell me till which portion we have done of non-finite verbs. Up to H, okay. So let us continue with non-finite verbs. We will start with exercise number I, okay. So we are going to begin about gerund, gerunds. As I already told you, gerunds are verbal nouns, okay. Verbal nouns means nothing, but they are in form, they are like verbs, but in their function they are like noun, okay. So they are called verbal noun. Gerund is obtained by simply adding ing to the first form of the verb, okay, and they work as the noun in the sentence. Understood? Okay. So let us take a few examples of gerund. So gerund is a verbal noun and it is obtained by adding ing to the root form of the verb, right? So let us start with a few examples of gerund. The example which I think I have also given before, that is, say, painting is my favorite pastime. Or say, painting is her hobby, his hobby. Or his hobby is painting. That is also correct. Same thing. In place of painting, you can write anything like singing, dancing. In both the cases, painting is doing the work of a noun, though in form it is a verb, okay. So this kind of words are called gerunds, right? If we read gerunds and participles side by side, it will be easy for you, because the form of present participle and the form of gerund is the same, okay. The form of present participle and the form of gerund is the same, but the difference is in their function. I am going to be using this same word, that is, I will be using painting itself, present participle and gerund. We would be doing both this side by side, okay. Then it would be easy for you to understand. Right. So in form both are the same, that is V1 plus ing or V1 plus ing. But the present participle, it acts as an adjective whereas the gerund acts as a noun, okay. This is the basic difference. That means the usage of this two is different, right? So present participle acts as an adjective and gerund acts as a noun, right? So see, This is the basic difference between a present participle and a gerund. Now let us take an example. It will be easier for you if you can see the example. Suppose I say singing requires much training. Sorry, this should be in the gerund box, sorry. For gerund, that is singing requires much training. It's just a sentence which I used. Here singing is acting as a noun and so it is a gerund. Okay. Now look at the present participle example. She took part in a singing competition. Here the participle is singing. Okay, the participle is singing and it is describing or qualifying the noun competition, right? So the word form is the same for gerund as well as for participle, present participle, that is. The word form is the same, but as you can see the usage is different. If it is used as a gerund, we see that it is being used like a noun, right? Singing is requires much training, okay? And here we see she took part in a singing competition. The word singing is actually qualifying the noun competition, so it is acting as an adjective, and so this is a participle. The form is the same but the use is different. Understood? Those of you who had doubt? Okay. Now let us start the exercise of gerund, that is exercise number 1. Here you have to underline the finite verbs and circle the gerunds. Okay. You have to underline the finite verb and you have to circle the gerund. What should we do? I think we can do it in the book. Okay. We can do it in the book or you can do it in the copy. I'll be doing it in a, that means I'll be doing it in the board. If you are writing in the copy, write it in book also. Okay. So how will you do it? You can underline and circle whatever instruction is given. I will just be writing the names. Okay, that is I will be writing what you should write in your copy. That form I am giving. So, is taming number 2. Taming gerund number 3. Done, all of you? Have you completed? Next we will proceed to the participle. Okay. Any problem is there till exercise I? Exercise I, is there any problem? Okay, good. So let us proceed to participle. Okay. Participle, as I have already explained to you, is a verb which functions as an adjective. Okay. Participle is a verb which acts as an adjective. So we may say that it's a verbal adjective. Participle has three forms. Okay, participle has three forms. Present participle, past participle and perfect participle. What is the difference between past and perfect participle? Okay, so present participle, past participle and perfect participle. Present participle is the easiest form, that is, we get it by adding the ing to the root verb. Okay, this is the present participle. All of them acts as adjective. All the three forms acts as adjectives, right? But that means gerund just has one form, that is, you just add ing to the verb and you get the gerund. But for participle we have three different forms, right? First one is the present participle, the second one is the past participle. Past participle is nothing but the V3 form of the verb. Okay. Say I write, the policeman consoled the shaken boy. Okay, that means somebody who is affected by something. For that purpose I have written the participle shaken, which is actually the third form of the verb of shake, right? Shake, shook and shaken. So this is the past participle form of the verb and it is used in place in front of the noun and it is acting as an adjective. Perfect form is this form, having plus V3 form. Okay. So whenever we are using this form as the perfect participle, it is also acting as an adjective. There are certain specific usage of perfect participle, but is it there in your class, in your syllabus? Let me see. Yes, I think it is there. Past participle. Yes. So having plus V3 form. Say having gone to bed. Having gone to bed, she remembered her homework. Okay. Or having finished his dinner, he waited for his mother to come. Okay, like that. So having plus V3 form is the perfect participle. So it's a completely different form than the past participle. Past participle is nothing but the V3 form of the verb. Perfect participle has some specific usages. That means when we are trying to join sentences, we use the perfect participle. Okay, suppose two sentences are there. Student, one of you have written the name in the Skype profile, that is TSG Gaming. Who is that idiot? Who is that idiot who has changed their name into TSG Gaming? Give your proper name in the Skype group. Do not change your name like that, because if you do, it is not possible for us to mark you present. Who is that student, by the way? Because I need to give you the attendance. I need to give you the attendance. We need to give the attendance to all the students who are doing the class. Who is that student? Give your name. First of all, tell me your name, then you change your name. Sir, mute everyone. Turn on koreche. Somebody has turned on their mic. Hasibul, Ayantik, Nishat, tell me the name of the student who has given the name TSG Gaming. Not for any punishment or anything, just give me, because we need to give the attendance. Yes, this boy. You have not written, I know, but who is this student? Change your name and tell me your proper name, because I need to give your attendance. TSG Gaming? Don't know, look at the picture. This. Shayondeep Das. Sir, Shayondeep Das. Change your name, okay, Shayondeep? Do whatever gaming you want to do, change your name anywhere else, but not in the school group. Understood? Okay. Because, no, Hasibul, I know you have not written, or Ayantik has not written. I was asking you to tell me the name of the students who are doing the class. So, we need to give them the attendance, right? Okay. So, suppose the two sentences which we are going to join using perfect participle. She watched the movie. She went to bed. Okay. These two sentences are there and these two actions are happening one after the other. Both are happening in the past, but this one is happening in the earlier past and this one is happening in the later past. Listen to me very carefully. Okay. Listen to me very carefully. See, these two sentences are there. They are happening one after the other. She watched the movie, she went to bed. Okay. This one is happening before, this one is happening next. So, in these sentences, if we want to join the sentences, we can use the perfect participle, right? So, we use the perfect participle to join these two sentences, and the sentence we get is having watched the movie, she went to bed, right? So, with this I am going to end today's class. This is the perfect participle, having watched. Okay. And for some specific purposes, we are going to use the perfect participle. Next day, we are going to continue with this chapter, and if possible, we will complete the chapter. Till that portion, thank you Nandini. Till that time, study as much as possible. Don't worry about the exam. If you have studied well, you don't have to worry about the exams. It will be scheduled very soon. According to the school website, you have to follow it. Okay, you have to follow the school website, and till that time study as much as possible, because you should have a strong base in grammar. Okay, thank you students.